Hi, my name is Abdul Omer, staffer here at Website Magazine, and today I'm here to talk to you about our January issue with our editor-in-chief, Peter Prestipino. This issue marks our 10th year as Website Magazine. Let's dive in and talk about the issue. Peter.
Hi, Abdul. Thanks. Yeah, we covered a lot of ground. As you said, this is our 10th year anniversary, so what we really wanted to do was cover a broad range of articles, and I know we do that kind of every issue, but I think what readers will find in this edition is really some of the foundational elements of achieving web success. So, we really, run a gamut kind of on what's in this issue. We talk about, kind of the, for the beginning, web entrepreneur, how to get bloggers kind of going, and how to use the platforms to their full capability. So our associate editor Derek Skew talked a little bit about the blogging platforms that are mobile friendly in terms of that have mobile apps and that you can blog on the go, and we think that's really cool. Some of the other articles that are really already kind of generating some attention on the web are the dark side of social, where we talk about the complexities of tracking social media, because not all social occurs on Facebook and Twitter. A lot of it occurs through instant messaging, for example. So we really kind of dive into kind of the basics of how to track that and kind of tie it back to ROI. We also had a great article from Matt Swan of Affiliate Window on the use of exclusive discount codes. And then we had a wonderful piece on email marketing and kind of how to take take those initiatives to the next level. So we think those are some of the best out there right now, but those that are really capturing the attention of our readers right now, or at least in the first few weeks of this month, have been those on CRO predictions, or conversion rate optimization. That was produced by Tim Ash of Site Tuners. He's a regular contributor for us in the Conversion Corner column, and they really dive into a numerous tips on and from a lot of leading CRO experts on what is really important. So we talked to Tim talked to Charles Nichols of CY on the importance of relevance. We talked to about the use of mobile in conversion rate optimization. We dived into testing as it relates to conversion rate optimization, and then how web professionals can actually get started. Conversion rate optimization, over the past few years has really accelerated, and it is in terms of its interest among our readers and I think the general web population as a whole. So, if I were to read any article in this issue besides the feature, which we'll get to in a second, CRO predictions for 2015 is definitely one. Another that we're really go ahead.
2015.
Say that again.
What are some of the predictions for CRO in 2015?
Well, I would encourage everybody to read it because it is kind of quite an in-depth article. But a lot of it is focusing in on understanding user intent and building web pages out that are relevant to the user, and a lot of that has to do with personalization. So I'll direct everybody to read that actual article because there's a lot in there, and it's it's almost too much to go into in just a short period of time. But a lot of those a lot of it also had to do with testing and optimization, and how to learn from the tests that are conducted and how to actually implement the insights that you gain back into more testing and back into the actual development of pages and back into the development of actual offers and strategies for the future. So there's lots of it, and I think it's really one of the most powerful articles that we've published in this issue for sure.
Okay, awesome. There was a title that caught my attention. Know Thy Digital Enemy. Who is my digital enemy? And
our good friend Jamie Smith he's a kind of a customer advocate over at iEspionage, produced a really excellent article on knowing your enemy, and what that really means is competitive intelligence and the value that tools like iEspionage and SEMrush and all the many other platforms out there and What Runs Where, which is a display kind of platform for kind of digital advertisers to find out what their competitors are using in terms of display advertising. So, but Jamie Smith really kind of goes into detail about how to use these tools and the value proposition that they offer. So, we're talking about not just the competitive keyword research that are available through tools like iEspionage, but the ad copy research that's possible, the landing page research, so you can see exactly what all your advertisers are actually promoting, and that's really useful in terms of constructing pages that are at least in line with your competitors, and really kind of position yourself to outperform them if you know what you're looking for, know what you're looking at. So that's really good. And another tip that he does is kind of the competitor alerts that are so useful. Like, necessarily when one of your competitors is adding a new landing page or adding a new segment into their campaign. And that's really useful so you don't fall too far behind. And, digital advertising is so competitive that if you're not paying attention, you are actually failing and you're losing ground. You're losing ground and you're losing business. And the last one was really keyword monitoring and, how to understand what keywords are kind of currently are trending essentially in the kind of the digital advertising landscape, and how to integrate those in quickly into your existing campaigns. So competitive intelligence tools are really, I think, going to pick up steam in the coming months and years, only because they give us so much more information about what everybody around us is doing.
All right, amazing. That is awesome to know that those tools exist and that we can take advantage of them, and that you guys highlighted in the issue this week. Now, a fun one that I really liked was the outlandish digital prediction from Website Magazine. Especially, humanity is saved by AI. Very cool.
Don't tell Elon Musk that we wrote this. No, it was a really fun piece to write. We had some fun with it, and I think the catalyst for that was that I think everybody sees all these predictions at the end of the year, and they're just, really they're guesses. They might be educated guesses, but it's really, they're just guesses, and we don't really know where things are going to go or be in 12 months or, much less, 1 month. So, what we want to do is just kind of poke fun a little bit at the kind of the notion of predictions. We did, by the way, produce an actual list of predictions just because we didn't want to, be left behind. But we did make some fun ones. I think some of those that we've gotten some feedback on already are suggesting that Yahoo might release a 24-hour Marissa Mayer webcam just to kind of boost their impression numbers, and that Pinterest might actually team up with the NFL.
That I can actually see happening.
Yeah, that probably will happen. So, it could very well happen. And I think my personal favorite is that Google does turn out to be evil, which is really kind of the ultimate jab at the web's best search engine and advertising.
As of right now, that's still not so. So it'll be nice to see if that gets confirmed.
Yeah.
Hey, another big piece in the issue that we haven't talked about yet is the Digital Power Players Award.
Yep.
How does that work? That seems pretty significant. We've never done anything like that before. Yep. So can we talk a little bit about how we're categorizing companies, how they're going to be judged, and what the goals of the award are?
Sure. I think the Website Magazine sits at a really interesting point in the technology landscape, and that's at the intersection of business and technology. And what that affords us is a really unique view into how everything operates. It gives us a very holistic view of what it takes to achieve what we call web success, and that means, being a provider of a website that offers a good experience for users, that is profitable, that is attractive, that is, all these things that we really kind of aspire to. So, and since we sit at this really unique intersection, we're afforded the opportunity to look at and review and experience all these different software platforms and all these different, social networks and advertising networks and email channels and email ideas and all this kind of stuff. So what we wanted to do was kind of profile those companies that were what we think are really kind of cutting edge or established in the sense that they have massive audiences and are just by their very presence an influencer in that industry. And we covered, a range of products and services. So we talked, just beginning, one of the first things that I always tell people to do is get a project management software, because running a website is complicated and there's a lot of moving bells and whistles. So we looked at, dozens of project management software solutions. We listened to our audience. We did our own research on search engines and social networks just to see what people were talking about, and we identified in that category and in all the others that we looked at kind of the leaders in the space and those that were generating the most attention at a specific period of time. So why that's important to say essentially is that it's going to evolve over time, and it always will, right? Like technology is evolving. It always is evolving. So we constantly have to, and we will over the, in our future, we'll look at ways, we'll look every year at the best vendors and service providers in these different categories, and we'll mix it up every year and try new things. But this year we talked about project management software, and I really like Reiki and Basecamp. I think those are two really good ones. Domain names, those always generate a lot of attention, and the reason is everybody has one. So like everybody's got an opinion on their best, their favorite registrar. Obviously, GoDaddy has a big market share, but companies like 1&1 and Namecheap and Domain and Name.com are all really kind of competing and are really doing all they can to kind of make their mark in the industry. Web hosting is a really challenging landscape to talk about because there are so many different areas that you can talk about. There's budget hosting, there's dedicated hosting, there's cloud hosting, there's hosting specifically for e-commerce, and there's even hosting for specific platforms like Magento. So what we did was we looked at 5 different categories in that hosting, and we kind of assigned who we think is the leader in each of those individual spaces right now. And then again we run the gamut. So we talk about search engine advertising and optimization, and we talk about kind of the tools we just talked about in competitive intelligence, like WordStream and SEMrush and Acquisio and SEO software like Web CEO and SEO Clarity, as well as Raven tools and positioning. We talk about e-commerce. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Magento. It's an eBay product. It has a massive, massive audience right now. It started out as a real kind of just an open source product, and it has just run wild and has really captured the attention of the e-commerce industry. But there are lots of other very reliable platforms that people can turn to, from 3D Cart and Shopify to Volusion, Hybris. The list goes on and on. We featured 10 of those in our e-commerce category. Social media, social media is like domain names. Everybody's got an opinion on social media. Right. We looked at 10 of the tools that we think are, really important ones for web professionals. BuzzSumo really, amongst our readers really was top of mind. We're users internally at Sprout Social, and Hootsuite obviously, really dominant in the social media management landscape as well. So, they really deserve the attention that they receive. We also looked at live chat software. I don't think there's any better way right now to capture the attention of a user than live chat. And I know that some people get bothered by it, but it's become so sophisticated and so intelligent that it should be a consideration of every web professional. And you don't have to be an e-commerce merchant. It's perfect for information publishers. It's ideal for service providers. It's really something that I think that we're going to push at Website Magazine over the coming years. How to use these tools, who are the best providers, what are the strategies associated with it. Email, we send millions of emails every year. We understand the complexities of it, from deliverability to the art of the subject line. It is really a wonderful thing for every business, large or small, to kind of just invest every remaining penny they have in their budgets into. So we love it, and we profile another 10 of those that again are innovators and just doing wonderful things. Sales and marketing automation, we didn't stop at 10. We actually produced a list of 50 in our top 50 this month, and those really are, from the small to the large. Sales and marketing automation is really, I think last year it evolved from just a kind of a nascent idea among really the tech elite to a very universal practice that is really kind of gaining speed. So we're really pleased with that. And I'll kind of wrap it up. But we talked about a lot of other stuff. We talk about advertising and performance marketing networks. We talk about help desk solutions. We talk about experience optimization platforms, which really kind of, you know, raises eyebrows to some people when you talk about experience optimization. But it is a fascinating area, and you know, the savviest brands, I think, are really investing heavily in it. Gamification and loyalty is another topic, and it's not gain the speed at which I hoped it would and I thought it would, but you know, I think that there's some really creative uses out there for it, you know, internally and externally, for web brands to kind of really consider. Subscription management, also a really popular area of interest right now, and mobile, of course. Can't talk about anything without talking about mobile. So another area that we dive into a little bit, and then we let our readers talk a little bit about, you know, some of the things that, you know, suggest some of the solutions that they think were really good and useful. And I think, you know, in a brief 5 or 6 pages, I think it's a really excellent overview of the technology and software landscape for web professionals, and you know, we're really proud to produce it. You know, if you've been listed on that as a digital power player, you earned it. You are a leader, and you are an innovator, and those, you know, looking for these individual solutions should just not wait and explore and research and consider these, and let this act as a kind of a launching point to a successful 2015.
Yeah, that's so great that we're doing that this year. There's so many B2B solutions out there. That's great. You know, I'm really glad we've talked about them for so long. I'm really glad that we're actually categorizing them and identifying the top innovators in each category, and really, you know, rewarding them for that, for doing a great job, and so hopefully continue to do that, and hopefully we can promote some competition among these guys too, so they get better and better and better. That would be very cool. Is there anything else you want to get into about this January issue, or?
Yeah, you know, there's so much, of course, right? You know, I think one of the things is that, you know, we are celebrating our 10-year anniversary, and it's, you know, it is, you know, I think when we started 10 years ago, in November 2005, we launched at AdTech, and you know, we hit the ground running with some really interesting information then, and we haven't really stopped, you know, and we're really proud of what we've become, and we want to kind of celebrate with our readership. So we're doing some interesting things this coming year. We're doing, you know, kind of putting our attention on Throwback Thursdays and kind of profiling some of the articles that we've done in the past. We're going to run some social media campaigns related to you know, where Website Magazine's being read, from the home to the office to the, you know, to public transportation, to the beach, to the pool, you know, everywhere that it's read. And it's really fascinating. We're already seeing some excellent submissions. It's really fun. And then one of the other fun things that we're doing is kind of sending readers on a digital mission. You know, we're highlighting an individual phrase in each issue.
That's a digital issue, right?
In each issue, and those that find that phrase and find the correspond in the print issue, and then find that phrase in the corresponding digital edition, can click through that link in the digital edition and go to a landing page where they can enter to win a special prize. So we're really pleased that that we can do those kind of things, and you know, we've grown our audience over the years, and you know, we've got a really wonderful community, and we really hope that everybody will celebrate with us for sure.
Awesome. All right, cool. That was Peter Prestipino, our editor-in-chief, talking to you a little bit about what we're doing in January, what we're doing through the end of 2015. We're celebrating our 10th year anniversary. The Digital Power Players Award is out and live, so keep an eye on that. And again, I'm Abdul Umar, staffer here at Website Magazine. I'll be linking to the digital edition below. So please download it and check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. All right, thanks.